Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As I'm sure you may have noticed, I'm a bilingual truth messenger. I bring you the truth in Spanish as well as in English. I want you to understand that the purpose of these videos is to end the links alike. Is to wake you up. To wake you up from this matrix that is self-consuming, it is self-destructing. Through the art of distractions, of mass distraction, you're probably not going to see this video now because you're probably distracted, speaking of which, looking at the Superbowl. But ladies and gentlemen, okay, please unplug from the matrix, because what is coming out, and by the way, look at all the links that I'm going to send you, because you got to understand that everything is connected. Everything that I'm going to show you here, actually everything that I'm going to talk about here, everything that I'm going to send you the link, everything is connected. Just like the cells, like the billions of cells in our bodies. Just like the stars, not in the outer universe, because there's no such thing as universe. You got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that the earth is flat. The Bible clearly shows it. It is circular, but it is not a globe. It is flat, and the sun, the moon, and the stars are actually under the dome, the earth's dome. It's not somewhere in space. Nothing can come out of this earth and nothing can come through unless the one that created it decides to. That is the I am, the creator of all things. Once again, the purpose of these videos are, and the purpose of my channels is to make sure that you don't stay asleep, because those who stay asleep will be destroyed, will perish, and the demons will exploit. There's no other weakness than that. Remember, the demons exploit our weaknesses, and distraction is one of them. When he finds you, and when he comes and finds you asleep, where do you think of the nightmares come from? They are just the reflections of our very existence and the experiences that we go through. If it's negative, you get nightmare. If it's positive, you get sweet dreams and blessings. But anyway, let me read you what I wrote in this thing and explain some of these things to you. And by the way, once again, ladies and gentlemen, don't believe anything that I say here. You cannot see, there's an old saying that says, seeing is believing. Well, seeing and hearing will be believing for this video. Okay, here we go. The connections and interconnections of everything is relative. For everything is connected to one source, and this is the one source that gives light and life to everything. To everything that there is, composed of the almighty and everlasting heavenly family, which is the creator of all things, whose name is I Am, which in Hebrew is Asher Ahaya. So I'm just giving you an introduction of one of the names or title of the family that created us on this earth. Because as you can see, as you can clearly see, in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, it clearly states, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So obviously, it shows that the God family is a family. So I just told you the first member, which is the creator, which represents the man part of it. Now we go to number 2, which is the life giver, with the breath of life, also known as Rawak HaKodesh. Let me spell that for you. R-U-A-C-H, Rawak. And then the space, H-A-K-O-D-E-S-H, Rawak HaKodesh. That is the Holy Spirit, whom the Roman Catholic Church, through its many deceitful things that because remember, the Roman Catholic Church is the devil's bride. That's the devil's girlfriend. Don't mess with his girl. Well, I'm here messing with her. I'm here to expose her. How do you like that? So here we go. So the life giver, the one that gave us the breath of life, her name is this Holy Spirit, which is Rawak HaKodesh. Now, you may say, well, do a spirit have sex? Not really. There's no such thing as male or female when it comes to describing Rawak. It is a title. It is a symbol. Remember that. Here we go. Then we go to number 3, which is Yahushua, which means salvation. Okay? That's what it literally means, salvation. Which is exactly what he did for his human creation, created in his image. So he came, remember, first of all, let me explain something to you, ladies and gentlemen. God's language is as follows. He communicates numbers, signs, and symbols. And that is exactly what the devil uses. Because remember, the devil is a copycat. That's all he is. Because there's nothing else for him. There's nothing else for him to do. He cannot beat the Creator. So, you know, as they say, if you cannot join them, if you cannot beat them, join them. Remember that I was saying? Well, he kind of does that, but he perverts the whole thing. More on that later. Let's keep going. Now, so you got the Creator, Ahaya, the I am, the one that created man out of the ground, out of soil and water. And then came the mother, Rawak Hakadesh. And then after that was done, after humanity sinned, then he gave his only begotten Son, as it is clearly written on John 3, verse 16, that whosoever believeth on him shall not perish but have everlasting life. All right? Then, of course, the angels. I mean, you got a whole bunch of... One book that I really recommend is Enoch. Enoch was a book that was written before the Bible was written. Okay? There are 16 books that you will find a lot of them in the Bible, in the Roman Catholic Bible, as a mockery, because they should be in the original Bible, but they decided to take it off, to take it out. That's why they don't push a lot of Bible reading. See, the Roman Catholic Church Bible has 73 books. The regular Bible has 66 books. Does that remind you of something? Yeah. It's a mockery. Trying to make the Bible believe that 666, the number of the beast. They took 16 books out of the Bible. You can find them online, like Esdras. Do your research on that. Here we go. Then came what became to be known as the devil, Satan, who was known as the light bearer, the morning star. And not only came to deceive us, but also to take our breath away, our rawak away, which clearly shows and tells us two things about this beauty called the devil, which in Arabic means the ones that actually help him. Okay, they are called jinns, G-I-N-N-S. The demons. They are reality, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you want to believe it, whether you want to believe in deny or not, it's up to you. The demons have shaped this world history. The demons have shaped this world's beliefs system. And what has it accomplished? Destruction and suffering throughout human history. Let us keep going. He is a liar and a destroyer, the devil is, and turned the human creation into a most naive, conditioned creature. Hence, throughout history, the human behavior, and not to mention the spiritual and religious belief, which has only led to destruction, as I just mentioned. Okay? Destruction and death up until this last days that we are living. Like the following beautiful concept of this made-up reality that we live under. We live in a made-up reality, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Everything that you see is a pure lies. You may say, Ruben, that may sound crazy. Are you a conspiracy theorist? Well, let me just tell you about conspiracy theories. When somebody shows you the truth, when somebody proves to you the truth, beyond any shadow of a doubt, he would not only be considered a conspiracy theorist, just as our Savior, Yahushua, whom the world called Jesus Christ, okay? So, we live in a made-up reality. In fact, he invited Yahushua Luke 4, the first chapters of Luke 4, to follow him, to sell his soul, to sell his beliefs to him, to worship him. And now all the richness and kingdoms of this world will be his, would have been his. Because he says, because everything has been given to me. Well, guess what? Such a silly rabbit. Silly rabbit tricks off for kids. Silly and stupid, ridiculous rabbit, the devil. When he said that everything was given to me, well, the Creator gave it to him. And there lies our challenge. Are you going to go with this word riches? Are you going to sell your soul like so many have in the past? Kobe Bryant was one of them. Michael Jackson was one of them. O.J. Simpson was one of them. James Brown was one of them. Tupac Shakur was one of them. Robin Williams was one of them. Ladies and gentlemen, I could just go on and on about blood sacrifice. But let me just tell you something about blood sacrifice. Sometimes they just make you disappear. You are still living, but you're not actually dead. You still exist. On the people's noses, and they don't see it. So every time they predict a death, such as Kobe Bryant's death, you can bet your life that he wasn't killed at all. Now you may say, well, Ruben, well, yeah, he was killed. Well, who controls everything? Who controls the media? Who controls Hollywood? Who controls your police officers? Who controls your justice system? Think about that. Okay? And don't give me that crap about, oh, the Illuminati. You don't know what you be talking about, ladies and gentlemen. You don't know what you are messing with when you make video of, oh, Illuminati. Yeah, right. That's not distracted. That's like the word racism. or like that movement that was, what is it, Black Lives Matter. That's how they distract us, y'all. Or drug trafficking. Or the 99% movement. Ladies and gentlemen, please. You are being played. Psychologically played. Emotionally played. Do not fall for this. Let us keep going. So this is one of the concepts. See, the theory of evolution. Let me just tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. If Charles Darwin himself would have been alive, if he would have been alive right now, he would deny. Because he says something about if he can be proven that an organism can adjust and be operational through some kind of modification, material will be totally destroyed. Something along those lines. I don't remember exactly the quote, but that's exactly But you know what? The people are so brainwashed and so deceived, since the theory of evolution have been taught in the university and in the school system, that it's too late. People would think that Charles Darwin has gone crazy. They probably would call him a devil. Because that's what people's reactions are once you awaken. Okay, and it has been proven that each cell in our body has its own mechanism, like its own self-propelled mechanism. Now he said along those lines once again, said, if it can be proven, my theory will be totally destroyed. And guess what? It was always destroyed anyway, even before this was proven. So the theory of evolution was, let me just tell you a little bit about him, Mr. Charles Darwin. First of all, he's from Europe, from England. He had a boat called the Beagle. It seems like he was so bored out of his mind. It's like the demons came to him and said, man, you are so bored. Why don't you do something with your life? So he got on his boat and he went around the world, sailing around the world for 5 freaking years. When he got to the Galapagos in the Mediterranean in South America, ladies and gentlemen, guess what you thought? Guess what? The history of humankind, the human existence on this planet was easily explained away. In his first book called The Species, the demons possessed this man, just like he has possessed many. And how fittingly that he was from England. Because you know what England has done to the world, to America, to the continent of the Americas, to the continent of Africa, to the continent of Asia. to the continent of, you name it, Indonesia, to the Middle East. They're always sticking their nose where they are not called. But you got to understand as to why that is. England, and I'm getting ahead of myself right now. England, the Germans, the French, who are the French people, the Scandinavian, Australian, the Italians in Italy, in Rome, they all are descendants of the Roman Empire. Remember, the Roman Empire was prophesied by the prophet Daniel in the Holy Book that it was going to break into many different places, different parts. And that's exactly what it did. So the theory, how fittingly, so that the theory of evolution was pushed on. He was not the first one that came up with it, but he was the one that was used to push it. And the whole world believed and justified its animalistic behavior. Well, we are all animals. Anything goes through the theory of evolution. When in reality, it is a satanic belief system. It's part of the agenda of the New World Freaking Order. NWO. Number 2, religions. The religions have been, and you can do your own study, like I said. Don't believe me. Because if you believe a man, that only shows how weak-minded and how naive you are. Do your research. Don't believe me, because I'm just as imperfect human being as you are. Dying every day. Number 2, religions. Religion have been the most destructive concept and practiced in human history. See, you got to understand that religions came out of the Roman Empire back in the year 325 in the Councils of Nicaea, pushed by the Emperor Constantine. That's where the Roman Catholic Church was born. Hence her name, the Roman Catholic Church. And hence, she being the first beast that the Bible talks about. So religions have always been, before Christendom, it was just beliefs, hearsay. I believe this, I practice this religion, you practice that religion. Let me just tell you one thing. For instance, look at the Islamic belief. Don't believe me. This is fact, what I'm telling you here. The Islamic belief, which was created by the Roman Catholic Church and pushed by the Roman Catholic Church, actually came out of the Persian mythology. I mean, these people have so many idols, idolatries, that even what they consider the Prophet Muhammad, a man who didn't know how to read or write until he came around, but he was a keen listener. Until he came around back in the year 570 AD, and got rid of a lot of idolatry. But guess what? the Islamic faith was still being pushed because it was created by the Roman Catholic Church. It's a fact. Even the Jesuits, which is a Masonic order within the Catholic Church. I mean, you talk about devil on top of devils, what devil is? In fact, the Pope that's on there right now is a Jesuit. But anyway, that's what religions have done. And that's why all the main religions on this planet have been created. If they are completely a complete joke. Let me just tell you, I've been part of many different religions. I have studied many different religions throughout my existence on this planet. Many, many years. I'm what you call a religionist. I was baptized in some religions. So I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, they are a joke. Okay? You talk about separation of church and state. Do not believe the hype. It is all a lie. Three, politics. Politicians very well know that they are not picked but chosen by the shadow government. Your president, and I'm going to show you some, I'm going to send you some links. I'm going to talk about a little bit further, okay? So that you know that I know what I'm talking about. So politics, they know very well. Presidents, kings, they know that they are chosen because presidents are puppets by nature. Even in the building that they serve, the so-called the people, but they're not really serving the people, you see. They're serving themselves. See, a politician, by his very essence, is a puppet. He's being told what to do. Because this whole world is ruled by the Masonic order, whether you want to believe it or not. In fact, if you look at, for instance, Mexico, for instance, their constitution that was written back in 1917 was written by the Masonic order. In Venezuela, despite of what you hear from this crazy guy there, that's the leader, they're all Masonic. Russia, besides of what you hear in the media, they're all Masonic. Let us go. 4, science. The scientists are taught they were taught the same knowledge that was given to our first parents, Adam and Eve. So, a little bit of good and lots of bad. Oh yes. A little bit of good and lots of bad things. Okay? Which led for the scientists to lie to the human on this earth. And hence they came up with a system of abortion, which is in reality is it has forced their hands into agreeing to create diseases and to even interrupt the growth of life itself through abortion. So you interrupt the process of creation something that you wouldn't have liked to be done unto you, yet they went ahead and did it anyway. So you see, we have lost the right. We have disrespected life on this planet so much that we have lost the right to even exist on this earth. Now I know this truth. Can you handle the truth? I know what I'm saying here is too strong for you, or it may have come as a shock to you, but I want to shock you straight. I want to shake you up so that you can wake up, because this whole system, including the United States of America, is going down literally to a hell that doesn't exist but will exist, going to hell in a handbag. So abortion is actually human sacrifice. Just like it was in Babylon, the Babylonic system, where you were giving kids. Okay, God's people were actually sacrificing. There have always been human sacrifices. The Roman Catholic Church has done it. The Mayans did it. The Aztec did it in Mexico. And the cop-out is always sacrificing to their God. In Babylon, we used to worship the Baal, the Baal. Number 6, NASA. Deceive and confuse the masses with the hawks. The greater hawks bestow upon man of lying to the masses, to the whole world, saying that man landed on the moon when they know it was a lie. In fact, the moon's very purpose of being is to shine as the light that it is. And this light that another light that we are moving through space, to 66 miles per hour, and we revolve around the sun every 24 hours, is such a lie. Now, if you don't believe in the Bible, then there's no sense of me explaining this to you and making the connections. Okay? And as I previously mentioned to you, even the buildings where they pass laws and stuff, like in Capitol Hill, the Congress, are Masonic buildings. They're actually temples. For instance, in Capitol Hill, okay, has Masonic symbols all over the place. Capitol Hill building, it is a temple called Capitoline Hill, right? Jove. It was the most important temple of ancient Rome, dedicated to the trinity of Jove, Juno, and Minerva, which were Romans' gods. Okay? You do your research on I ain't got time to explain each and because it's going to take me forever. 2, the Washington Monument. It is actually a monument. So again, Capitol Hill is actually a temple. It came from the Roman Empire and it's called Capitoline Jove. And that's what they used to worship. So they built the same thing here in America. The Washington Monument. It is actually a monument used in Babylon and created by Semiramis to worship the sun. It was also used in Egypt to worship the sun. It's a sun worshiping tool. And yes, it has been erected all over the planet. You have it in Europe, London, in St. Peter's Square. You have it in Washington, and you have it all over different parts of this planet. So Semiramis, who was Semiramis? She was the mother and wife of Nimrod. Nimrod was the great-grandson of Moses' great-grandson. Actually, I'm sorry, Noah's great-grandson. The White House, another Masonic building. The Pentagon, okay, with its Masonic pentagram and the devil symbols all over Washington. London is an independent city within a city. The Roman Catholic Church, a city, an independent city within a nation. Washington D.C., a city, an independent city within a nation. Do not get it twisted, ladies and gentlemen. The United States was never ever founded on any spiritual or religious principles. This nation was founded and born out of blood. Don't believe me? Well, what do you call slavery? The massacre of the Native Americans and the many wars, the Civil War. By the way, America is the devil's second bride mentioned on Revelation, King James, Revelation chapter 13, starting on verse 11. He talks about both of the beasts. The first is the Roman Catholic Church from verse 1 and chapter 13, verse 1 to verse 11. Then from verse 11 all the way down is the United States. Now, it is the Roman Catholic Church is explained, clearly explained also in Revelation chapter 17. Okay? You got to understand that the people that control this planet are Edomites. And who are the Edomites? Through lineage and blood, they came from the seed of Esau. You may say, well, who the hell is Esau? Well, okay. Let us go to Genesis 25. Okay? Genesis 25. Started on verse 20. Again, Genesis 25, verse 20th. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel and Syrian of Padan, the sister of Laban the Syrian. Verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. Barren means that she was sterile. She was sterile. She couldn't have any kids. Verse 22. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I tossed? And she went to inquire of God. 23. And the Lord God said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manners of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. 25. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare him. So the people that control this planet are Edomites. But then at the end, Esau's descendants will control. And it's not going to be up in some heaven as the Christian will have you believed. We are earthly creatures. We were created for eternity on this planet. Now you may say, well, what is the meaning of life? What was the purpose of life? Very good question. Let us go to Genesis chapter 1 again. Let us go to Genesis 1, verse 27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created him. Male and female created he them. 28. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. And subdue and have dominion and subdue it. And have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. 28, it tells you as to why we was created. Again, let me read it again. Genesis 1, verse 28. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it. Remember, they haven't sinned yet. So right there in this chapter, in this verse, it tells you the purpose of life itself. So God wanted to multiply himself through us as the human creation. But what did we say? Oh, F that. I ain't going there. And we have followed the devil ever since. to his number day, because he knows his day's a number. Okay? That's why people are so stupid, so ridiculous. And the United States society is the most naive society on this planet because it is the most destructive one. I mean, look what's happening today. Superbowl. Which is a celebration to the devil. That's why they're always in the commercial and in the halftime show. They always put up this, what people call, I love it. I love when people just, because they hear names, they repeat it, but they don't know what the heck they're talking about. They'll be like, oh, Illuminati artist. Is Madonna an Illuminati? Oh, look at Beyonce's Illuminati. Illuminati halftime show. People, shut the heck up. We are in a war, in a spiritual war, and you are putting names like little kids. The devil's disciples are hard at work. And you are distracting yourself by, oh, Illuminati this, Illuminati. Get out of here. Just call them by what they are. The devil's disciples. That's what they are. And this is a war where you are you are two things at the same time. You are the battlefield. Your mind is your battlefield, is the battlefield, and you are also the reward. Because if they can destroy your mind, they got you. They got your ass. So just look at some of the links that I'm going to send to you, because the same spirit that killed or just made disappear Kobe Bryant. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, if you want my honest opinion, Kobe Bryant is not dead. Just like Epstein didn't kill himself in a jail cell. It's all a game. These people are living. Tupac Shakur is still living. But, and you may say, well, Ruben, why do they do this? Because they relish on the weakness of the people. How they can work people up. In fact, if you look at some of the links that I'm going to send you right now, just take a look at some of the Illuminati cards that I'm going to send you. How they predicted the future. Through the Simpsons. 15 predictions that came true through the Simpsons. And it's